All right, so we're going to start our investee presentations, and we're going to start with Dr. Susan Rivers, who will speak on behalf of the partnership between Yale University and the Bridgeport Public Schools, and she is the Deputy Director of the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence. So Susan, you're on.
I can't see that. Okay. So I'm just out of 3 hours of traffic coming down here. And I can't focus on head, shoulders, knees, and toes, so thank you for that. I feel very confident in being up here. I'm so happy to be here and humbled by all of the people in the room, and I especially want to call out Alana Callahan and Mary Pat and Amy Marshall and Bonnie Brown. They're my partners in crime, along with Mike and Joanna, for the work that we're doing in Bridgeport, and we represent a very small portion of the people who are so instrumental, including Superintendent Fran Rabinowitz, for really making anything that we're doing happen in the district. And thank you to the Tauck Family Foundation and Morales and Sarah for keeping us honest and evaluating and always striving for top performance. And this is Mac to PC transition issues. My question to start the day, and we start many of our conversations with students, with teachers in our trainings: what would you do if you were not afraid? Think about it for a moment. What would you do if you were not afraid? The emotion of fear impacts so much of what we do. For example, I would never do this thing outside because I'm scared of heights, and that would limit my ability to enjoy and have fun with my family if I were to bring them here, right? So the fear that we have, the emotions that we have, propel us and motivate us to do things or not do things, and that's the crux of the work that we do at the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence and the partnership that we're doing at Bridgeport Public Schools. Emotions matter. Similarly, a more uplifting question is, who inspires you? Who inspires you to achieve all that you do? Who inspires you to wake up in the morning, to make a difference in this world? And do our teachers have the skills and resources and time to inspire the students in their classrooms? Do leaders have the talents and the skills to inspire the teachers who work with them? And how can we give them the space and help them understand that the emotion of inspiration really matters, and getting kids to understand that fear impacts what they do and give them strategies to work through that fear, to address that fear and move ahead is so important to helping kids thrive in the worlds that they're living in. Emotions matter. We are so amazingly blessed by the presence of Superintendent Rabinowitz when she came to Bridgeport Public Schools. Before she came, we were working in one school and making some progress in the district, and as soon as Fran stepped into office, she changed the mission for the district. She changed the vision for the district so that emotions were key and central to the work in the district, which made the work that we wanted to do in the district in partnership with them really be able to flourish, have a place to flourish. She writes that our vision is to be a model urban school district, and I think we all share that vision. And she goes on to say, the way we will do this is to support the emotional well-being of the entire school community. And the work that we've done to date in partnership has really helped to make that happen, has made that vision a reality. She built into the work that she's doing in the district and in partnership with all the school leaders and the teachers in the district, a theory of action that was really about creating adults in the district working together in collaboration. And she writes it in here, to apply the knowledge of data and process analysis, much to our performance management folks in the room, and also an understanding of emotional intelligence and what that means to create a district where all students are able to thrive and all members of the community are able to thrive. We know that the power of emotions and the power of social emotional learning and the work that we're doing in emotional intelligence matters for kids. There's many studies out there, I'm sure we'll talk more about this tonight, but that the investment, for every $1 we invest in social emotional learning in schools, data is coming back to show us that there's an $11 benefit to students in terms of long-term outcomes for those students. A study that just came out, was just published this summer, funded by the Robert Wood Johnson Foundation, showed that the skills that we're teaching in Bridgeport Public Schools now, the social emotional learning skills, those skills matter for long-term outcomes. In a study that was started about 25 years ago now, measuring these skills that we're teaching in Bridgeport in kids predicted their outcomes 25 years later in terms of whether they finished high school or not, whether they went to jail or not, whether they used drugs or not, whether they engaged in any kind of criminal activity or needed public assistance. These skills matter, and in this district we are making them part of the education that is being provided to students. We know that students develop in systems, and if we don't change the setting for learning, we're unable to provide the supports that children need to succeed. The superintendent has made a commitment that the adults in the district matter, and providing them the space to develop their own skills and understand the significance of emotions and the skills to teach how and why emotions matter in the classroom will impact kids. She's given teachers the space and the time to learn how to support, teach, encourage, and model emotional intelligence in the classroom and in creating their schools. We are working very closely with the district to design schools across the city of Bridgeport to promote positive youth development using social emotional learning. We're using an approach we developed at the Yale Center for Emotional Intelligence called Ruler. And Ruler really focuses on teaching 5 skills: recognizing emotion, understanding emotions, labeling, expressing, and regulating emotions. And we believe, and we have data to support, that by teaching these skills in schools, it will lead to positive outcomes in the classroom, so how the classrooms are functioning, and also for students and for teachers. I'll have handouts for these because I'm sure you can't see everything that's on the slides. We had a 5-year plan, and in this plan, we did the first year, we did strategic planning and capacity building, and in the second year, which ended in June, we launched the district-wide SEL initiative at the leadership level, and I reported on that last time we all gathered together. We trained and worked really closely with all of the principals across the district and members of the superintendent's cabinet to train them on the Ruler approach and how to build emotional intelligence into their leadership skills. Right now, this year, we've started the 2015-2016 year by integrating social emotional learning into schools. I'm going to skip that slide. And milestones this year that we've set for ourselves that are currently in progress, and I have some beautiful pictures that Alana and Bonnie and others collected to show some of the work that we're doing. It involved training of the teachers across a few days, rolling out the first phase of the Ruler approach, school-wide adoption of that in our elementary schools, introducing the program to students and family members in close collaboration with BCAC, Mary Pat's group, and others, and then continuous evaluation and improvement. Here are some images that are going on in the district as we speak. They just started rolling this out in September, and we already have stacks and stacks. If we actually printed these out, we don't print photos out anymore, but files and files and files of images of what is happening in the district. So one of the tools that we use is the charter. This is a collaborative agreement to create emotionally supportive and empowering classrooms that is built by students and teachers together. We have lots of images of the charters that have been created in classrooms across the district. And we've launched the second tool of Ruler as well. This is the Mood Meter. It's a tool for building emotional self-awareness and awareness of others' emotions. And these are authentic images of what's happening in classrooms where they're taking the tools that we share with them and they're really making them their own. And we're seeing amazing innovation already just after 2.5 months. We've been working with family members to build out knowledge of what Ruler is, but also empower the parent leaders in the district so that they can bring this work forward in the way that they think is best for their community. Still to come this year, we have 2 additional tools that will be rolled out. The Meta Moment, which is a self-regulation tool, and the Blueprint, which is a tool for resolving conflict. The teachers have training on these tools already, but we're rolling them out. And it really varies school by school. They're really making the program their own. We're not didactic in our approach, we're not prescriptive in our approach, but we're giving them the tools and helping them make decisions with the guidance of Alana and Bonnie and Helen, our other SEL coordinator, to help them to figure figure out how to do this, provide that technical assistance. In upcoming years, we'll build on to the work that we're doing and roll out the field immerse curriculum, which is an ELA-based approach to integrating emotional intelligence and social emotional learning right into the academic curriculum using literacy as the foundation for that. Lots of evaluation data that we're collecting. This is our very exciting, this gets Morales really excited, our measurement plan, and we're actively collecting every single week data on how we're doing, how it's being rolled out in the field, by asking teachers for artifacts from their classrooms, by staying in touch with Alana and Helen and Bonnie, who are in the field, working with the teachers, hearing how it's going, developing new supports for them as they need it. And this is just some preliminary evidence of our evaluation results so far. So teachers complete implementation logs telling us what they've been doing in their schools so that we can track where they are in the progress of rolling out Ruler and how far they need to go, but also really the success and really capitalizing and understanding how are they adapting Ruler to fit their needs, but also how are they progressing in it and how is it meeting the needs of the students. And we have great success already. We have 83% of the schools have already created school charters. 76 have held the training for the mood meter. We're already seeing lots of evidence of that in the classroom. It's really exciting. And this tool is really allowing us to see on the field what's actually happening and how it's being rolled out. We absolutely could not do this alone. There are so many partners in the room that support us in the field, back at Yale and definitely in the district offices, and lots of funding partners. None of this would be possible without the Tauck Family Foundation, who really got this project off the ground and has brought in many other funders who are committed to the success of this project, but really committed to the success of creating emotionally intelligent classrooms and schools for the children of Bridgeport. So thank you all.